Everybody trying to be content creators and trying to go viral. You want to go viral?
Okay, you want to go viral. Let's go viral then.
Say let.
Let go.
Let's embrace it. Let's love it. Let's enjoy it. And let's give them the experience of their life. That's Roswell for you, baby. Come together. And guys, this is Speaking Out Loud. I appreciate you guys joining us. Don't forget to share and dance like you just don't care. It's early in the morning. Let's have a day. And like I said, be a friend. Tell a friend something nice. It might change their life. Shout out PMS.
Good morning and welcome to Speaking Out Loud. I am your host, Rene Ruiz. And along with me is the man with the buys, the man with the tries, the one with the broad chest, the one, the only, Jaxton Borba.
Yeah. Can you hear me? Sound good?
Yes, sir. Welcome to December 1st, coming out of Roswell, New Mexico. We had a massive day for the show yesterday. We were able to lock in an interview with Jaxton Eck, linebacker from the UNM Lobos. It was pretty cool. Shout out to Tim Foley for setting that up, and shout out to Jaxton Eck for coming on the show. It is to be released tomorrow morning. The hopes is to have it out today. I stayed up pretty late last night editing the whole thing. Yeah, it was fun, man. The kid was pretty cool, JB. If you don't mind, let's just listen to a clip that we released yesterday real quick. 1 second. Let me pull it up for you, my boy. But other than that, JB, how are you this morning, bro? How was San Francisco?
San Francisco was fun. A whole little getaway was fun in general. Saw family, did a lot of sightseeing, did all the good stuff, for Thanksgiving. So it was a good time overall.
Dude, hell yeah. I'm glad you're back. I love the swag. I like the black. I like the chain. We can't. I'm digging the chain. Is that a gift?
No, man. It's just what I do, man. It's just what I do.
Looking like a bit like a Dwayne Johnson, some would say, huh? With those big old arms, broad shoulder, big chest. Shout out. But all right, JB, let's listen to this. Jaxton Eck made an announcement yesterday on our show that he was staying committed to the UNM Lobos, as his dad also, if you guys didn't see the news yesterday, signed a 5-year extension. We're not going to count pockets, so I don't necessarily care what the amount was, but let's just shout out to the UNM Lobos for locking down someone that has already transitioned the program into new heights and who has their eyes on more, bigger. And this team is elite, strong, quick, and a gritty team. Let's listen in real quick. Is it fair to say you're coming back also? Because I heard a lot of we in there. Had a baby. Come on, Jaxton. Let's go.
News just came in that UNM extended Jaxton Eck's contract, which is everything that we want here in Albuquerque. And whenever we see this the season kind of going along how it was, everything, and we talked about on the show and in the back of every New Mexican's mind is how do we keep these guys here? And I think with that news just before we recorded this, I mean, everyone's celebrating in Albuquerque. How do you guys expect to perform this next season? Do you guys have goals already? Is that looking a little bit too far in advance because you guys are more focused on the bowl game, or kind of what are your guys' thoughts there?
Yeah, I'd say definitely a lot of our focus right now is on this bowl game, finishing off the season strong. But I definitely say, we're also looking to the future, trying to get as many guys to come back as possible because we're really excited about what we could do next year. We feel like the conference is wide open. And also I think we have a pretty favorable schedule. Like this year, we had to play 2 Power 4 schools. We only have 1 next year, so a little bit lighter non-conference too. I think we can. The sky's the limit for us, really. That's what we believe. So excited to see what we do, but you just got to get back to work.
Is it fair to say you're coming back also? Because I heard a lot of we in there. Had a baby. Come on, Jaxton. Let's go. Let's go. What a moment for the show there, JB, huh?
Yeah, man, that was cool. Yeah.
Speaking out loud out here, breaking news. Didn't think that was going to happen on a Sunday evening. It was unfortunate that we found out yesterday morning that UNM is not going to partake in the Mountain West Championship game because of a computer. I looked into a little bit, and it seems like the only way that they could the reason it went to AI was because it was a 4-way tie and it kind of breaks down like strength of schedule, all that good stuff. The old, you remember the old college football whenever only two teams got into the playoffs, right? And we would debate whether or not those two teams were the best teams in the country, blah, blah, blah. A computer ended up ultimately deciding who was going to play in that game. And that's kind of what happened to the Lobos this week. And to me, it doesn't make sense. The four teams that are there, UNM beat two of them. And one of the teams that they beat in a head-to-head matchup is in the finals. I don't understand that. I don't understand how you can beat two teams that are being considered for the championship game, and somehow you get snubbed. It don't make sense. Don't make sense to me, but it is what it is. It seems like the likelihood of them playing in a bowl is going to be the UNM bowl or the New Mexico bowl, which would be massive for them because it'll be a home crowd. Also, he had mentioned that possibly there's that it's been rumored to be possibly the Arizona bowl. But the interview's good. I'll drop it first thing in the morning, hopefully late tonight, but more than likely first thing in the morning. We kind of got to know the gentleman just a little bit, got to know a little bit about his team, and then who's his GOAT, JB? You probably wonder. He shared this information with us. I didn't really ask, but it was awesome. He has basketball GOAT. I'll let you guys watch the interview to find out who his basketball GOAT was. That was a cool little conversation, and a big college football guy. So if you like the NCAA double or the NCAA game, big college football guy. It sounds like him and his boys, from what he said, is they have a whiteboard where they keep score. So that tells you how much they probably game. And from the sounds of it, is he's pretty good. You ever play NC? You like college football, or are you just a Madden guy?
I'll play a little bit of both, but I haven't really touched the new NCAA. It's been about a year or so since I touched the one from last year. So yeah.
Well, I mean, they barely brought it back, so you know. But dude,
Yeah,
NFL Week 13. NFL Week 13. It felt a bit of a snoozer. I don't know if it's because how many games had already been played before Sunday. Looking at the schedule, I was like, damn, there's only about 2 games this weekend that are worthy of watching. That was the Pittsburgh Bills game, and then the Rams Seahawks game, which some of us we were ready to crown the LA Rams about a week ago. And boy, oh boy, did they put a wrench in everything, JB. The one thing that I learned from this weekend was we don't know anything about anybody in the NFL right now. The NFL is more open than it's ever been, ever, of me at least watching it. I don't understand what's going on because right now, yesterday, you threw a little nuggie into the group chat that kind of got a couple feathers ruffled just a little bit. And it was the Dallas Cowboys are the best team in the NFL as of right now. That's what came out of your mouth, or at least that's what you texted into the group chat. So it came out of your mouth, into your fingers, and into your phone. And you said send. And we received, and we said, what the? I like the way you go. I like the angle you're taking here, JB. But yeah. I don't think necessarily that's a far-fetched comment that you made. I do think it is very possible to say that Dallas is the hottest team right now in football, especially after yesterday, the Rams dropping that massive game to the Panthers. And I know what you're thinking, listening to us. You're like, but wouldn't you say the Panthers are better, especially if they had the head-to-head over the Dallas Cowboys? Sure, I get what your thought process is, but we have seen the lack of consistency with that Carolina Panthers team. But the one thing that we did learn about the Carolina Panthers is, hey, guess what? They're getting pretty good. It's fair to say that the Carolina Panthers trajectory as of right now is all in the up and up. And you did say it at the beginning of the year, JB, you said that the Carolina Panthers were your dark horse, and man, have they delivered. How do you feel about the Panthers going, not necessarily just for the season? I guess, what are your expectations for them for the rest of the season and going forward?
It's right now that the way that the wild card is set up and the NFC, it's going to be tough for them to crack it. I can see them if they can upset the Bucks, then they can get in. They can get in as like the 4th seed, be a division winner. It's going to come down to this last month. So I like the Panthers. I think yesterday, Stafford coming in hot. I said it's hard to get a quarterback to kind of cool off after him just getting better week after week, Stafford, and to force 3 turnovers, like a crucial fumble in the 4th quarter on the game-winning drive. They force a crucial fumble. They forced a pick six. Mike Jackson took it back to the house, and then I think on like the first or second possession of the game, he threw a pick. So 3 turnovers, uncharacteristic, and I expect him to get back on track, of course, but. Everybody kind of has a down game from a quarterback perspective, but I think he's still, for me, Stafford is still in first place of the MVP race. And I think if he bounces back and has a good next 4 or 5 games or so, I think he'll still secure that. He didn't really fall off too bad. He still threw a couple touchdowns. The offense still looked good for the most part. It was just those turnovers. That's what kept Carolina in the game. That pick six and that fumble, obviously, to win the game, that was it right there. And they just had to complete a couple passes at the end of the game to secure the win. The Panthers did, and they did that. So, but I expect the Rams to jump back, to bounce back, and finish off the season strong. It's just uncharacteristic out of Stafford, but I mean the defense. I will say the Panthers' defense is pretty solid, and it's been getting better all year. So the offense is still a little bit up and down, but their identity is to run the ball and play good defense, control the clock, and force turnovers, and that's their key to success. I think it'll match well against what the Bucs are doing, because that looks like that's the race in the South between them and the Bucs. So we'll see.
They got 2.
Yep, they got 2 games, and those are going to be huge. I think they get. I don't know, man. I feel kind of good. Bucs are getting healthy though. They're getting a little bit healthier offensively with Godwin and Bucky Irvin coming back. So it's going to be a good.
Yeah, it's set up. It's set up for a wonderful Week 18, JB. Next week they got the New Orleans Saints at New Orleans, and that's where it gets a little bit tricky, because if you look down the schedule, the last 2, 4, 6 weeks. 7 weeks, it's win-loss, 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 win-loss. So that their schedule alone just shows you the inconsistency on this team. And I'm talking about, like, they beat the Jets, lose to the Bills, beat the Packers. Oh wow, they're back. And then what? They go to New Orleans comes to their home and only allows them to score 7 points. And you're like, what the hell happened to this team? And then they bounce back. Put a whooping on the Atlanta. Well, not a whooping, but they put up 30 points. So we're like, wow, they're back. This offense looks electric. And then they get spanked by the 49ers. And then now they come back and beat the Rams, and you're like, what? What is going on? Honestly, the Carolina Panthers are epitome of exactly what the NFL is this year. And it's just like, we don't know. We don't know who's good. We don't know who's bad. The teams that look bad look great. The teams that look great look shite. Every now and then they look shite. But they got the Saints. Then they got the Bucs, then they got the Seahawks, and then they got the Bucs again. So it's very likely that if they continue the inconsistency, that they aren't going to make the playoffs. They got a tough schedule to end this stretch, and it's going to come down to do the Bucs get in, or do the Carolina Panthers get in? So let me just put your feet to the fire right now on Overreaction Monday, where these boys that are tuned in can call in to give us their takes at 575-808-9307. Is it going to be the Buccaneers or the Carolina Panthers that win that division?
Guess we'll find out.
TBD, to be determined.
To be determined, man.
How do you feel about it, though?
I think.
Let me give you the Bucs' final couple games here. You got the Saints.
Yeah, I think that's a
win.
win.
You got the Falcons. You got the Panthers.
I think that might be
Dolphins, and then Panthers.
See, I don't know. That Dolphins game scares me a little bit, because I think the Dolphins have won like 5 in a row, something like that.
So it's going to come down to their head-to-heads, huh?
It's that Dolphins game, it's out of the conference, out of the division, but they can't afford like any more losses. But then again, it's like the Panthers are winning, losing, winning, losing, winning, losing. If they can put a streak together, okay, then we'll see, But Panthers have to put a streak together. I think that's the only way that Week 18 matchup makes sense. They got to win like another 2 in a row or something. If they can go into Week 18 being like 9-7, I think the Bucs will probably be like 10-6. Something like that. And I think it's going to come down to it's going to come down to Week 18, 100%.
It's setting up for a pretty good win, huh?
Yeah, I think so. So I like Bryce Young too. Like, there hasn't been a lot of love lately. At first, I know a couple years ago, it's like, oh, the shorter quarterback, that was always like a controversy thing. And you get Kyler Murray first pick, and then you get Bryce Young. Well, Bryce Young is kind of coming along now. And this is like kind of a perfect example of being patient. He threw for 3 touchdowns yesterday. Being patient with your rookie, letting him develop. Obviously, you got to go through downs. When the downs are down, it's really, really down bad. like kind of like in
Yeah.
Minnesota. So you got to kind of climb out that. You got to take your lumps, your ups and downs, and now it's kind of paying off. So I think Bryce Young, instead of calling him a bust, now it's like, okay, let's see what you can keep doing in your career. So that's good. He's not a bust.
Yeah, but he's on the up and up. The
He's on the up and
Panthers
up for sure.
the Panthers take down the 9-3 LA Rams 31-28. The Dallas Cowboys put on a showing on Thanksgiving, made my weekend, has made the entire weekend awesome. And now we got the Detroit Lions where St. Brown isn't going to be playing. So that's a big deal. News coming out of Detroit. But Dallas tops the Chiefs 31-28. And then in the earlier game in that slate, the Packers beat the Lions 31-24, which kind of solidified for me, and I believe a lot of Cowboy fans, that it's either the Packers or the Chicago Bears. And then late in that game, the Bengals surprised us, huh? Joe Burrow made his debut and put it down on the Baltimore Ravens, beating them 32-14. Is Lamar bust? I mean, is Lamar regressing before our eyes right now?
Yeah, I think people are saying either, okay, Lamar's hurt or he's just regressing right in front of us. And like he just doesn't look as explosive. He doesn't look like his escapability is not there. He kind of just fades back, drops back in the pocket, takes hits, doesn't get rid of the ball. Something's going on. I don't know. Maybe he's regressing. Maybe he really is. And that division is wide open. Too bad, man. There's a couple games that the Bengals could have won, like against the Bears and I think against the Jets or something like that. Like there's a couple games that they could have won where like that could be a 6-6 tie, 3-way tie in that division right now. You know what I mean? So
yeah. And you're probably wondering to yourself right now, JV. You're probably wondering, how do the Bengals get into the playoffs? They were able to win that game last week and somehow stay alive whenever they made the addition of Joe Flacco.
They did it last year.
And here's the playoff scenario for the Cincinnati Bengals. What the Cincinnati Bengals need? They need to finish 5-0. They got to win out, and that was a good start. They need Baltimore to lose one more time, not counting the loss that they just had, and they need the Steelers to go 3-3 or worse. Of course, this graphic was before this weekend, but now it's sitting at 3-3. So as of now, they only need 2 more losses for the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Pittsburgh Steelers had a tough one. They absolutely had a tough one. Let me just show you what Aaron Rodgers had to say to show you how tough it actually was.
Do you see the flatness within the game and in practice as something that's not being done right from a coaching aspect or preparation aspect that's kind of framing you guys in the wrong way?
I know what you're trying to ask, and I'm not going to go down that road at all. I believe in the coaching staff. I believe in Mike Tomlin. That's why I came here. And players need to take accountability, myself included, and I will continue to. I got to play better.
Players need to take accountability. Actions are stronger than words. Mr. Aaron Rodgers, who went 10 for 21 for only 117 yards in a 28-7 loss to the Buffalo Bills, where that game was tied at first, and the Buffalo Bills just slowly pulled themselves away with Josh Allen going 15 for 23, only 123 yards, a touchdown, and he did give one away. He has been doing that as of late. He's at least going to give you one little gift. Can you take advantage of it? JB,
Nope.
What the hell is going on in Pittsburgh? What the hell is going on in Pittsburgh right now?
I think what you're seeing, not only in Pittsburgh but just around the league, man, just teams are tired. I don't know. Teams just look tired. Pittsburgh looks tired. They look tired. They look sluggish. They look unprepared. Mike Tomlin, you're always going to get. You know what you're going to get with Mike Tomlin. There hasn't been a playoff win in 13 years. Like what's the future in the offseason looking like? Because obviously you're not a Super Bowl team. You got a lot of questions.
Oh, we're counting them out. We're saying
100%.
Are we saying are we at least getting to the playoffs, you think?
With the way the Ravens look, Ravens haven't beat no one this year either. It's like at least the Steelers have a couple decent wins under their belt. The Ravens have not beat not one good team this year. Not one good team this year.
Yeah, that's very sick.
And I don't know. I really right now I would take the Steelers over the Ravens, but I will not count out Joe Burrow And once T. Higgins comes back on the field, that offense I think it's going to be moving. I think that offense is going to be moving. If I could say anything, just give me the Bengals. Like the Bengals, I think would be running away with the division right now. I feel like they would have 7 or 8 wins, possibly first place in the division. I think they might have dug themselves into a hole.
Isn't it crazy that at the beginning of the season we're like 3 teams coming out of this division, and right now it's just like, gosh, which one's the only reason that the Bengals aren't a hot mess is because of Joe Burrow coming back. But if we actually dissect what that Bengals team is, like the offensive line didn't just get better overnight. That offensive line still stinks. Joe Burrow was still getting hit.
Defense still bad. So it's like, I don't know, man. Whoever makes
it's
it out
sloppy
of that
divisional play, bro. Sloppy divisional play going on in that division right now. And I'm looking here at the Pittsburgh Steelers' remaining schedule. Next week, they go over to Baltimore. We don't even know what Baltimore really is, so who knows how good of a game this is. It's a divisional game, so we're going to give them the benefit of the doubt.
I would expect it to be a tight game,
right?
Yeah, I think it's going to be close. And it's just two teams.
But we just don't know who wins. Like we because we don't know what Aaron Rodgers we're going to get either. It's like it's Father Time starting to win this battle, and we're starting to see it in real life. This is the sad part about when players stay in the league a little too long. Or for me, I'm a big watcher of the UFC. It's really sad when a veteran fighter who you love a lot, or who not necessarily love, or like a lot, follow, have enjoyed the entertainment of what they've brought to us. But seeing them just fall apart there at the end of their careers is heartbreaking. It kind of feels like that's what we're seeing with Aaron Rodgers. I enjoyed the Aaron Rodgers of old, the COVID MVP Aaron Rodgers. And what we're seeing now, it's just like, damn, man, busted nose, broken hand. Like, he is absolutely going through it. It doesn't get easier, right? They got the Ravens and they got the Dolphins. Dolphins are over here making their own playoff run as well. Mike McDaniel seems to be having a little more fun again there in the podium. Is he having fun, or is it just because they're winning that it seems a little more energetic, a little more playful? It's probably just because they're winning, right? Yeah, definitely still sounds the same. And then after that, they got the Lions, the Browns, and then the Ravens again, which we don't know what the Lions are either. Well, we'll see. We'll get to know them a little more against the Dallas Cowboys. But hey, don't panic if you're Detroit. That Dallas Cowboys team is legit. And then Shador didn't look very great against the San Francisco team. It has already been determined that Shador will start this following week, even after what happened yesterday. Kevin Stefanski is being criticized right now for his play calling for going for 2 4th and 1s that they didn't get. The first one was ugly. The first one, I wouldn't even put that on the play calling. If you watch the first 4th and 1 at the midfield line, bro, the 49ers defense was on the other side. In a matter of 0.1 second. Like, they never had a chance. The running back, Shador, didn't even have a chance handing that thing off. So I love the aggressiveness by Kevin Stefanski. I would, for me, even though they got beat down, I think we can go ahead and push the whole narrative that Kevin Stefanski wants to see Shador not succeed. Like, a lot of that's been floating around. A lot of people, I'm including myself, has kind of shot my shots at Kevin Stefanski, but I don't think this guy wants to see Shador fail, because if he fails, he fails. It's a domino effect, and if you're fighting for your job, I think the last thing you want to do is sabotage it through your quarterback. But for the Steelers, I mean, how do you feel? A lot of our friends, if you look at their tweets or their Facebook posts, very aggravated, pretty pissed. They think I saw a lot of shots at Aaron Rodgers for his age and for his lack of play, which. Hey, like he said, players got to take accountability. But at this point, Aaron, actions speak louder than words. We're tired of hearing the same cookie cutter answers on your press conferences, the same story. Let's just go out there in the field and prove it. Yeah, if you don't have an issue with the play calling or the coaching, we'll go out there and play harder. Not to say that you're not playing hard, but goddamn, man, let's get some drives going. I'll tell you who is regretting the George Pickens trade, the Pittsburgh Steelers, because if they would have had him there right now, they'd have a CD George Pickens situation going on with DK Metcalf. What a situation to be in, right, JB? But are we counting out the Pittsburgh Steelers going forward?
Yeah, with the Pittsburgh Steelers, man, it's just we'll have to see how it plays out. But I think that what you're noticing is a lack of run game, offensive line issues. There's not a wide receiver too that's capable of creating separation, making big plays down the field. So you lose that. And it's just it creates a harder offense than it needs to be. And it's like, I don't know. There's a lot of questions in the future of what is going to happen in Pittsburgh regarding their coaching situation. Obviously, Aaron Rodgers. I think he stated earlier that he does want to come back, but is that even the right move that Pittsburgh wants to go down? You know, you
hell
got to,
no.
yeah.
It's time.
I don't
It's
know.
time.
You
Father
got
Time's
to look
winning.
at the quarterback draft. You got to look at the draft this year and next year. Next year, I think is going to be a little bit better of a QB draft. This upcoming year is you have a couple top guys, and then I think it kind of falls off after that. So it's going to be interesting to see how they play this in the long run. Who would be a candidate to replace Tomlin? Who knows, man? Pittsburgh is just an anomaly to me, and there's a lot of holes offensively that they have. A lot of guys that they're paying defensively that are just not. It's just not coming together. It's not coming together. When it's not coming together, and you spend a lot of money like this, you have to make a change. So I think it's time for a change. It's time for new scenery. You haven't won a playoff game in 13 years,
Brother. Can you
we're not playing to
imagine?
play- Yeah, they're not playing to be 9-8 no more. Like, you got to make a run. Got to make a run. We're not playing. Oh yeah, Tomlin's winning streak record. Like, who cares, dude? Who cares? Sometimes you got to go through some real dark times to reach the top of the mountain. So I think Pittsburgh might need to realize that they have to do that.
You know what? Pittsburgh would probably tell you we've been through a couple dark times. You think this is fun? You think getting bounced in the playoffs? You think having
Come on, man.
that noise surrounding your organization that's supposed to be a win team? You don't think they feel like they've had some darkness over them? But I'll tell you what, JB, if they do bring back Aaron Rodgers, I love me some Aaron Rodgers. You know I love me some Aaron Rodgers. But if they bring him back, that tells me this team isn't serious. No. And I'm not saying that the Steelers can't go on a run here with Aaron Rodgers. But if
even this year,
if you give me this Aaron Rodgers with another year on his belt, I'm not too excited going into the season. I don't care what happens in the offseason. I will not be excited to see another year aged Aaron Rodgers try himself out. At this point, bro, for me as a fan of him, it's like, all right, let's go ahead and get a couple wins. Let's get in the playoffs. Let's get a big win. That way you can ride off into the sunset. Because I don't want to see, referencing to a UFC fighter, I don't want to see my favorite fighter get knocked out again. And that's what it feels like is happening. Knocked out. Green Bay. Knocked out. New York. And now, possibly going to
Give me Joe Burrow. Give me Joe Burrow and the Bengals in the playoffs, man. Let's see some elite quarterback play in the playoffs, man. Nobody wants that division. Somebody take that division. It's Joe Burrow's.
Joe Burrow's to take. And with that being said, a little hyped up, a little juice. That's a perfect segue into this wonderful team that leads the NFC as a whole. The Chicago Bears, after getting a massive victory over the Philadelphia Eagles, 24-15. Bear down. That's what a lot of folks are saying, right, JB? Let's listen into the locker room after these boys got this big win. And Ben Johnson goes shirtless in the locker room. Let's see. Bro, that's the Home Alone kid. Just jacked to the gills.
Good, better, bad. Good, better, bad. Never let it rest. Never let it rest. It's gonna get better. It's gonna get better. It better get better. It better get better. Bears on 3, better.
Oh, bro, that kills you to see, huh?
I'm still not sold on the Bears. Still not sold.
What?
No, because there's major
listen
issues.
Hold on, listen to this. I'm not sold on the Bears.
No.
Look at this team, bro. This is crazy.
Here we go. Good, better, bad. Good, better, bad. Never let it rest. Never let it rest. It's gonna get better. It's gonna get better. It better get better. It better get better. Bears on 3, better.
Yo, the Bears.
Look,
leading the NFC.
Quick breakdown. I think there's major issues. There's definitely issues in Philly offensively. They have like here's the thing with Philly. Usually we talk about teams with identity. Some teams this team hasn't figured it out. They have not figured out their identity, and it's past. We're in December. They're not going to figure out their identity. Their offensive issues are real, and Sirianni. It's proven that Sirianni needs these type of offensive and defensive coordinators to make a deep run. When he does have that in place, they're a dangerous team. When he doesn't have that in place, like what we saw 2 years ago, they're nothing. So I think there's a lot of issues offensively, and here's the thing with Philly too. They've been playing good. Yeah,
Putting
dude, come
Borba
on, dude.
through
It's
that
just
on Monday
busting my
morning as
ears.
well. Yeah, I'm sorry.
When Philly's been carried by their defense. Their defense came along pretty quick this year. They turned into a solid defense, right? Yeah. Against the Bears, they had no defense. They were letting Monangai, they were letting DeAndre Swift run all over him. Bears had control of that game offensively. And what we've known about Jalen Hurts in that offense is they don't play from behind very well. Obviously, they did it one time this year against the Rams, but that's not a formula to win for Philly at all. So there's issues in Philly, and you love it because the hottest team might just go on a run.
JV,
Oh
my goodness! All right,
That's what you need, though.
You
need a Philadelphia breakdown. You need a Philadelphia Philly cheesesteak with the Philly cheese on top type of meltdown. That's the type that you need for you guys to get in, because I don't think these wild card 49ers doesn't look like they're going nowhere. That 49er game against the Bears that I'm going to be going to now, it looks pretty fun to go to.
Dude,
you know, that looks like a fun game to go to.
Before you were dreading it, now it's
dude.
Yo, this game has playoff implications to the gills. Like, think about this, right? San Francisco is going to be playing for that wild card spot, unless the Rams have a downfall, which I don't expect. But
Seattle too, they might have. You never know.
Yeah,
Sam
very
Darnold,
likely.
literally, his last 3 weeks, he hasn't done too much. Sam Darnold is kind of the defense is carried. The running game's been carrying. Sam Darnold's got to get that production up a little bit. He didn't really do too much yesterday. I think it was like 15 of 29 or something like that for like 150 yards. Like, Sam Darnold really didn't do anything, but it's like you don't really need to do anything against the Minnesota offense right now. But I think all those teams are they might be secured in the playoffs. I don't see any of them dropping off.
I think you're right. I mean, like, slowly but surely, as they drop that game on Friday. I mean, man, do they look bad? The only thing about that Eagles team is, like, it's just hard to, like, they have a drive where they look great and then they just fall apart. They just go dry for like 3 or 4 series, and then they go, and then the offense is driving down. It looks good, and then something just doesn't go their way. Like, the ball's just not bouncing in their direction.
Yeah.
And slowly, as that game is going on Friday, I'm thinking, wow, this entire week I've been talking about what team us Cowboy fans should be rooting for. What is our way into the playoffs? And little did I know, JB, the George Pickens
might be right in front of you.
Peekaboo! It's Philadelphia falling apart, bro. Can you imagine Philly falling apart and the Cowboys winning the division and getting a playoff game at home? Oh, Jerry Jones will look like the ultimate genius. All those moves that he did, there's going to be a lot of apologies. I'm sorry, sir. I apologize. Can I get my credentials back, sir? Thank you. A lot of that's going to be happening, bro, if the Philadelphia Eagles fall apart. And I'm here for it, JB. Oh, week by week, if these boys fall apart, goodness. You thought I was delusional already?
Imagine?
Come on, son. Son.
I'm kind of looking ahead. Like, let's say y'all win out. Y'all are like, what, 11-5, 11-5-1?
Yeah. Yep.
You guys probably secure the 3 seed. You're either playing Packers, 49ers, or Seattle Seahawks.
Yep, give me the Hawks. Come to town, baby. Or
Man.
give me Green Bay. Come to town, baby.
I think that's who you'd want to play. Sam Darnold is unknown still. We saw what he did last year in the playoffs.
Yes, but that defense is buzzing, brother. But he also had a defense in Minnesota. This is almost the same situation he had in Minnesota, and he's getting to replay that all over again. Think about that. Look back. Look at what he had in Minnesota. Same exact thing. Great defensive coordinator. Defense was buzzing. Great weapons. Wide receiver 1, wide receiver 2. One solid dude in the backfield. Aaron Jones had a solid offensive line. Had a good tight end. Same thing in Seattle. Defense is buzzing. Got a running back, JSN. You just traded for Snead. Good offensive line. Same situation as the Minnesota Vikings, and he's being blessed with the same scenario to rewrite history for himself to end this season. Will he make himself? We got to remember, looking back at Sam Darnold's career, right? It's been such a roller coaster, but
Well, it
just
was really down. Stock's been rising. Stock is still coming up on
but
sale.
it plateaued. It got to here and it just stayed. Actually, it dropped because of
It did
that
drop.
playoffs. He lost himself probably $10-15 million in the bag. Also, he gained himself 25. So did he really lose? Return on investment, right? ROI. So we'll see what happens with Sam Darnold, but I do like I wouldn't mind them coming to town. I'll tell you that. I wouldn't mind them coming to town. I will put my money on the Dallas Cowboys.
I don't think you want to
Sam
see.
Darnold has shown us.
I don't think you want
Is
to see.
there anybody you want to
Packers.
see though? I don't think there's.
I don't think you want to see the
everybody-
49ers either.
That's the one we don't want to see.
Oh.
That's the team we don't want to see. Legitimately,
Ooh.
49ers probably the one team they don't want to see. I don't mind a matchup against the Green Bay Packers. I feel like it's 50-50. Like Jordan Love is the same way that we were just talking about the Carolina Panthers, where it's like 1 week looks great. Next week, it's like, this is the reason we're losing. Next week, this is the reason we're losing. And then bam, win, 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 win. Like it's so hit or miss with them. But the one thing that we do know is the Cowboys' trajectory is just doing this right now, baby. It's doing this right now. As Philly loses, our stock just continues to rise. That would be my favorite way to get into the playoffs, is if we see, like as you said, or as you referenced, a Philly cheesesteak melt right before our eyes. Please, football gods, bless
Philly
this team.
meltdown.
Bless this. That's what we're going to call it. That's going to be Borba's graphic with the Philly cheesesteak on his hand. The Philly meltdown. Is that a Subway ad you just made? Or is that a little Jimmy John's ad that you just made there?
Might be Jimmy John's or Jersey Mike's or something like that.
JB, so I'm looking at the Chicago Bears Philadelphia's stats here, and the one thing that concerns me the most is, you remember Carmelo Anthony? You remember
Yes.
Carmelo, right?
A lot of shots. Took a lot of shots.
A lot of shots. And then we look at his stat line and you're like, damn, he's averaging 35 points. And then you look at the stats and Buddy went like 20 for 45. And you'd be like, well, of course he had 35 points. That was always my shot. That was always me taking a shot. Ramon, lawyer, one of my closer buddies back in the day. Big Carmelo Anthony fan. That would be one of my things to pick at him, right? To rage bait him a little bit. Like, yeah, it's easy to score 35 points when you're shooting 45 times.
12
Buddy should
of
have 80 points.
35. You know, that was like his percentage, about 12 of 30, 12 of 35. You're shooting like 40%, a little bit less. Yeah.
Yeah, and then we look at Caleb Williams just from Friday's game, 17 for 36, Borba. If I told you Dak Prescott threw 36 times, what do you think his passing yardage looks like?
Like 27 to 37, something like that.
And his yards gained? What are we thinking?
Probably about anywhere between like 250 to 300 in that range, 275, something like that.
17 for 36 and only 154 yards, one touchdown, one interception. That's what concerns me.
He didn't look good at first, but he kind of looked a little bit better in that fourth quarter when they pulled away. And I think it was a lot of the run game too. The run game carried him. A lot of throws that maybe
that's the one thing. That's the one thing with Philly right now. And I was actually surprised when I was messing with my fantasy team, and I have DeAndre Swift, and I'm looking at the matchup, and I'm just like, what? You know, Philly actually is one of the worst teams at stopping running backs in fantasy points, but fantasy points add up to yards, right? It translates. So you're telling me, for as tough as this Philadelphia's defense is, and all the names that they have on that roster, is one of the worst in the running game? That actually blew my mind. That's probably why we were also having issues in Philadelphia. I don't think the issues in Philadelphia are on the defense. For whatever reason, the offense just can't get it clicking. A.J. Brown was interviewed, and they asked him if there was anything he felt like they needed to change, and he said no. Nothing. They were trying to bait him into something. He didn't give in. But for the Bears, I think that's what I'm looking at whenever Borba says they concern me. Is it really the Bears, or is it these teams that are just falling apart, and the Bears are just a product of
there's going to be a
point.
Apart. Yeah, there's going to be a point where the Bears are going to be playing a offense that's firing on all cylinders. You know what I mean? And they got it. maybe play from behind or exchange, just go back and forth. It's going to turn into a shootout. Can they do that? Can Caleb Williams sustain that?
And
And
I
if
mean,
the
you got to
run
give him
game
credit. He has been, right? You got to
he
give him
has
credit.
been, but there
He
hasn't
has
been great adversity lately. Chicago's been all, fun and games and lovey-dovey and all that stuff. But
Oh, I don't know about that. I
I think
definitely
so.
feel like their feet have been held to the fire. I mean, Caleb
No,
Williams has
not
had a
even, dude.
couple.
Oh,
I mean,
no.
he's had to have game-winning drives, bro. What are we talking about
Game-winning
here?
drives. Yeah, you counted a game-winning drive against Minnesota when the kickoff return went down to the 35-yard line where he had that counts as a game-winning drive for Caleb Williams when he had to hand the ball off 3 times to kick a field goal. Like,
Bro,
no, I don't care. Like when you play a good team and they're putting up points against you and they're exploiting your defense and your run game's getting shut down, the defense is doing enough to stop the run game. Okay, Caleb Williams, you're the one that's going to have to will this team to win. You're going to have to throw 35 times a game. You're going to have a 68 plus completion percentage. He hasn't done that all year. So what makes me think he's going to do it right now? This is an unproven quarterback. Same thing as we got going on in the AFC. Bo Nix, Drake
Jones.
May. What's going to happen against a top opponent, a good offense that's putting up points? What happens when they got to play? Who are they going to play in the first round? I don't know. They got to win the division first. That's if they're the first. There's a lot of ifs right now. There's a lot of ifs. I don't know. I feel like they don't even. I feel like if Baker Mayfield, if they had to play Baker, so let's say Bears drop into the wild card.
Let's just say this: the Bears are going to play the Green Bay Packers next week, and Mikey's asking. So hypothetically, what happens if the Packers play that way next week?
I think if the Packers can put up
the
points
matchup,
Jordan Love can just protect the ball.
I don't like that matchup though. I almost feel like we're almost in the same. Like we're gonna have the same. It feels like we're gonna have the same conversation next week. If
I don't
the Bears
think so.
are able to pull this
I
off,
think what's gonna happen.
The Bears, as much as stats show that Packers are like top 10 in running defense, you watch those games and
sometimes they're not.
They're getting pounded down the throat.
Sometimes it's also a divisional game.
Open up the passing game,
It's going to be a divisional game. It's cold weather, obviously. I don't think that game is going to be a shootout. I think it's going to control the ball. Both teams want to run the ball. Like Packers have been trying every week. They come out, they want to run the ball. Their focus is to run the ball, control the time, kind of prevent Jordan Love being in a situation where he could possibly make a mistake. I think it's the same thing with the Bears. Like both teams are going to want to control the clock. They want to run the ball. They want to control their opportunities. And it's kind of like whoever makes a mistake offensively.
So who do you trust more? Jordan Love or Caleb Williams?
At this point, here's the thing. Jordan Love makes at the most inopportune times, he turns the ball over. You know what I mean? And one thing about Caleb Williams I can't knock him for is he protects the ball pretty well. He's not as accurate. I'm sure they're still trying to work on the accuracy, still trying to work on a few things, but he doesn't turn the ball over like how Jordan Love does. So that's the only thing that concerns me if I'm the Packers. That's why I think the Packers want to control the ground game and then control the time of possessions and control when they get the ball. You talk about it a lot too. The last 4 minutes before halftime and the first 4 minutes after halftime are huge. Protect the ball in those last 4 minutes. If you got the ball before halftime and say you are getting the ball back at the second half, protect the ball, work the clock, get the points. If you have to kick a field goal, kick a field goal. But like what we saw a couple weeks ago with Jordan Love when they were about to, take 3, and Jordan Love fumbled the ball right there, just inopportune time to at least get 3 points. Like that's what I'm worried about, and I think that's what most Packer fans are worried about. So Jordan Love's got to protect the ball, and you never know what's going to happen. Obviously, but I think that's going to be the game. I don't think it's going to be a shootout. So that still doesn't put the pressure on Caleb Williams. If they're down by 7-10 points in the fourth, okay, then we get to see what Caleb Williams is made out of because he's going to have to lead his team back. Say they're down by 10 points, 9 minutes left in the game. We got to see Caleb Williams make some plays. I think that's the only way. If he doesn't make the plays, they lose the game. So there's a lot of pressure on Caleb Williams in that sense because I haven't seen him necessarily do it.
Yeah. And we're going to find out. We're going to find out. This is the beauty of football is we are going to find out. Now, will Caleb Williams answer? I'm sure there's a lot of folks praying that he will, and I'm sure there's a lot of
Bears
folks praying
fans.
for his downfall.
Bears fans are
JB,
already happy.
I'm not.
This is a win for the Bears. Who would have thought they would have been a 1 seed in December? This is a huge win for Chicago and the fans, the fan base, everybody.
You know what sucks though?
Everybody.
Is that if this team gets bounced in the first round of the playoffs,
they might.
Like instead of people embracing the season that the Bears just had, because like you said, as of right now, your team you've already exceeded expectations.
Yeah.
So whatever comes next with it, you should just appreciate it week by week as these wins come along. Just appreciate every single one of them, because who knows how long before you can enjoy a season like you're having right now. And just because if they fall apart here on the back end or on week 17, week 18, or week 1 of the playoffs, this was already a success for the Bears, and you have something to look forward to next year. That's the beauty of this, of what we're seeing with the Chicago Bears. But JB, sticking into that division, I wanted to ask you, I don't know if this was a freaking Tro job, but did this really happen when the Packers played the Vikings?
What? What does that say?
Case choke chant going at Lambeau.
That's a Tro job.
Is it a Tro job?
That looks like AI to me.
Oh, my bad, bro.
I never saw it before, dude. Trying to rage bait. That's crazy.
No, I saw it and I was like, what are they? They're saying choke.
I didn't see that. I don't know.
Choke. That's nuts. AI, chill out.
Man.
Chill out, AI. That's crazy what they're trying to do to my boy.
Yeah, speaking of the Vikings, just real quick.
Let's talk about it. They went scoreless yesterday, 26-0 to
goose egg since 2007. Since 2007. Big goose egg.
What the hell is going on with that team, JB? It's about to fall apart. It's about to blow up, my brother.
Think about it. Last year, 11 months ago maybe, before the whole meltdown, the last 2 games of the year, like we were 14-2. Top 7, I would say for sure top 10 QB play.
Sammy was being considered for
MVP
at
one
point.
He was an MVP candidate. And to just this raises so much concern about what did KOC, what did the general manager position, Quessy, like what did they evaluate to just assume that JJ McCarthy was so ready to be a starter? What did it? What made them? Yeah, we should
national championship.
What made us want to feel so confident about? Okay, we just have Sam Darnold just put up 35 touchdowns, 14-3 season, got bounced in the first round. But what made us so confident to not only just throw a little bit of money at Sam Darnold? Okay, you didn't take it. That's fine. Throw a little bit of money at Daniel Jones. Oh, you didn't take it. That's fine. Oh, Aaron Rodgers wants to play for us. Nah, we like our guy better. We're not going to give him an offer. We're just going to reject him. Like, what made us so confident? Like, just the whole evaluation process of McCarthy. And then a week before the season starts, we signed Carson Wentz, which Carson Wentz gave us the most wins that we've seen. That's what's crazy is that our offense looked way better. I think our offense, we're broken. We are broken. We are a broken offense, a broken scheme, broken everything. And I think I really hope this is rock bottom. I really hope this is rock bottom, right? Because you can only get better. This is the worst team that I've seen since Christian Ponder back in 2011, 2012, 2013. I think those seasons were really bad. I think a lot of younger people might not remember that, but I remember that. And then from there, we had a lot of up and down seasons, but nothing like this where our offense literally looks like it's the worst in the league. And to say that and have Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, TJ Hawkinson, Aaron Jones,
feels like we're wasting talent.
2 booking all-pro tackles. Yeah, we had 3 offensive linemen that were out of the game yesterday. Still, It doesn't matter. It's like underperforming like crazy. There's something going on where it's not only the quarterback play is bad, but the offensive play calling is bad. In that first quarter, I think we forced Darnold. We forced a fumble, got it back like in the red zone, went for it on 4th and 1 with an unmobile quarterback. Did a play action bootleg to the right. We all saw that pick six, right?
Yeah. Bro, that was Carson
Dak
Wentz-esque
can't
right
move.
there.
He's literally known for not moving, and we just literally do a play action with an undrafted rookie he's not mobile. Put him out on the run and expect him to just perform miracles. I don't even put that on him. Just throw it like it's 4th and 1, but he threw it right into the freaking linebacker's arms.
Let's show the chat real quick.
I mean, look, you're playing against
Why?
Like for the Vikings, that was probably the best defensive line that they played all year. And to do that on 4th and 1 blows my mind. Look at this.
Oh my! I mean, I guess it's 4th and 1, so he's trying like.
Yeah, I mean, I don't blame him. I don't
like,
put that on him. I don't put that on him. Awful play call. Kevin O'Connell's play calling is just not. It's not for a young quarterback, I guess. Like, what's weird to me is like we thought that KOC was like a quarterback whisperer. Well, the only guys that have had success in his offense are veterans. Like, I don't know if he knows how to evaluate and to progress a young quarterback. He didn't do it. He didn't do it with McCarthy. He hasn't done it with McCarthy. Max Brosmer, I mean, he didn't really help him out either with some of these play calls.
You want to read a couple of these comments?
Yeah, read them. I can't read them.
All right, let's see. Star Mitch says, as a Vikings fan, I can't even watch the rest of the season. This is beyond bad. Give me back the 2022 season.
This is a Minneapolis meltdown. This is what that is. You want to call a Philly cheesesteak meltdown? This is a I can't even say it. I don't even want to say it. This is a Minnesota meltdown. Let's just call it that. A Minnesota meltdown for the ages. This is going to be one of the worst. Give us a top 3 draft pick. I don't want to win out. Let the Jets get a couple wins. Let the Browns get a couple wins with Shador. They got their future quarterback.
Yeah, dude, what sucks
is future quarterback. We need
it definitely feels like JJ McCarthy was somewhat set up to fail because going into the season, the standard that was set for him was that he was going to have to outplay the season that Sam Darnold had the year before without seeing him take an NFL snap. And now it's like he has no room, no margin for error. And now we're sitting here in week 13 talking about whether or not this kid is a bust. Like, think about that, bro. This kid this is his first year as a rookie. And because of what they're going through, we're already writing this guy off. I mean, I just saw the headline on here on ESPN Get Up. The headline says, did the Minnesota Vikings make a mistake sticking with JJ McCarthy? We're not even a year in. And we're already having 7 games. We're not even giving this kid a chance. That's what blows my mind.
Yeah, he started 6 games. Like, I can't label him a bust yet. It just can't, dude. Like, he's technically a rookie. I don't care what people say. Like, yeah, you got injured. You didn't touch the field last year. You played like 1 preseason game. You're technically a rookie. You're technically a rookie, and LaShawn McCoy said it too. Like, LaShawn McCoy's kind of on McCarthy's side. Like, you're starting your 6th game as a quarterback that literally, yeah, we don't have Geno, thank God.
It feels
at least we have a young, like 22-year-old quarterback that might, improve. Might improve. And we've seen flashes of it. It's just the flashes of it are not consistent, and the bad has been really bad.
Yeah, there's no consistency.
Yeah.
And obviously when there's no consistency, I mean, you can see the lackluster that they are, bro. We're seeing it in Philadelphia right before our eyes. Look at all the talent on that offense, and they can't seem to figure it out either.
Yeah, the thing with Jamarcus Russell, McCarthy has, like, his QBR is literally worse. And, like, literally Brosmer's QBR was worse than McCarthy's. That was worse than Jamarcus Russell's. So it's like we literally have the worst quarterback play in the league. It's not even close. But Jamarcus Russell, he was lazy. At least McCarthy comes to work.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? At least he wants to get better.
For sure. At least we think. At least he puts on the persona that he wants to get better. But JB, before we get out of here, let's just talk about the Indianapolis Colts. What is going on? A team that it seems like we can't run the ball. Jonathan Taylor's. It feels like he's kind of taking a step back in the whole MVP conversation.
I think they
they're
figured it
forcing.
out.
Yeah, they're forcing Daniel Jones to sling that rock. 14 for 27 yesterday, only 201 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. The not giving the ball away is what's keeping them in games. But C.J. Stroud going 22 for 35, 276 yards, no touchdowns, 1 interception.
But
what's going on? What's going on?
I don't. So I read a couple things post game. Daniel Jones did not confirm or deny a fibula injury. So I don't know if that's affecting.
That was going
anything.
into the game. That was going into the game. Yeah, they reported it
So-
last week that he had a fibula issue, but it
think he's
wasn't
okay.
anything. It's a pain tolerance thing.
Yeah, so it's just teams are starting to figure out, okay, if we take Jonathan Taylor away, can Daniel Jones beat us? And he necessarily hasn't done enough to beat these teams, but he's also, I feel like with the Cowboys being the hottest team in the NFL, I think the Texans are like right there as one of the hottest teams in the NFL as well. I think their defense is just on another level. Danielle Hunter, Will Anderson, man, those guys are crazy. Derek Stingley at corner hasn't allowed over 10 yards for a receiver. Like, it's pretty crazy. Like, their defense is the best in the league.
The one thing that I think
now.
we're going to end up coming back to for this Houston Texans team is because the defense is unbelievable. Number one in the country, like we're talking college football, but number one in the league. They're at 7-5. They look like they're back in the conversation talk as to whether or not they can win the division, which is crazy because a couple of weeks ago I don't know that we even had Houston in that conversation. But the one thing that I think will bite them in the butt is that offensive line is no bueno, and it feels like CJ is regressing in a sense, but I don't want to necessarily throw it all on him. And I get it. We can do this with every team that doesn't have an offensive line or is an offensive line that's hurt. But because CJ has shown us winning habits and a winning attitude and just winning in general, you got to give him the benefit of the doubt. But damn, man, that offensive line it's rough. It's rough. But then you watch that game and then you see CJ have an interception where he just overthrows his receiver and you're like, well, what the hell?
Yeah.
Well, what the hell? But
I don't know.
It will be interesting. I do think that the Texans, if they fall apart, it's because of that offensive line.
Yeah, for sure. The defense is going to keep them in games. It's just what can we do offensively to make it easier on them? Like what you want to do, like, and I've been saying, like, if the Vikings had any sort of offense, like our defense might be like top 5. You know what I mean? Because we played good yesterday. But when you got to control, you got to keep the defense. You got to help your defense out. You got to control your clock and allow the defense to not be on the field for 40 plus minutes out of a 60-minute game. You know what I mean? Like, you got to help out your offense. You can't turn the ball over. You got to take your points. And sometimes you got to be greedy too. 4th and 1s, you got to convert those. Sometimes you need to convert a 4th and 1. You know what I mean? Keep your offense on the field a little bit longer. Get some points out of it. That way your defense isn't backed up against the wall. It doesn't matter how good a defense is. We've seen it. Like, obviously, Texans, they've struggled offensively. The defense has just carried them. But, like, there's Cleveland Browns, no offense. No matter what you do, if no offense does not help your defense, you could have the best defense in the world. You just need to sustain more offense. That's a big thing. So how far can the Texans offense lead them? You know, can CJ Stroud and Nico Collins get that connection back that they had a couple years back? You know,
Very well said.
Can the run game get going a little bit more? And can the offensive line block? That's the thing. I don't know.
And last thing, Monday Night Football tonight, the New York Giants are playing the New England Patriots. Who's winning?
I got to take the Patriots. Got to take
the Patriots.
Yeah. Patriots lose that.
Hell yeah. I appreciate you guys rocking with us this morning. We'll be back tomorrow at 6:30 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. Don't forget, you can pick up the phone, give us a call, and let us know what your reaction was to the NFL Week 13 slate. That's at 575-808-9307. Be on the lookout for the Jaxton Eck interview. We will have it out either tonight or first thing in the morning, but we will react to it tomorrow morning. It'll be the first time JB sees it, so we'll see JB's reaction to kick off the show, and then we'll have Tim Foley on at 7 a.m. Mountain Standard Time to break down the college football weekend that was and the Lane Kiffin news. Lane Kiffin has chosen to go to LSU, and that athletic director said, no, you will not coach the rest of the season for this Ole Miss team as they're making a run into the playoffs. I don't know that I necessarily agree with it, but I'll tell you why. First thing in the morning. I appreciate you guys. Be a friend, tell a friend something nice. It might change their life. Shout out PMS. See ya. Let's have a day.
Everybody trying to be content creators and trying to go viral. You want to go viral?
Okay, you want to go viral? Let's go viral then.
Say less.